Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, everybody listening?
Hello.
Let's go, Chris.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be here. Also joining us is the disembodied voice of our producer. It is Edgelord Big News Brian.
What's
up, nerds?
Oh my goodness. Yes, we're back for an early manga-sode. I'm very excited to be back. Let's get into plugs really quick. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
JD Cole _37 on Instagram and at NYChillin with an EN at the end, not an ING. And that's on Twitter.
Oh yeah, Brian.
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Oh my goodness, yes. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter especially because we usually do a really good chapter of the week poll. This was kind of like an impromptu decision, so I didn't get a poll up in time this week, but fear not, next week the real deal will be made. Or I'll probably put one on tonight and announce it on Wednesday or Thursday whenever we do our American comic show. Why not? We can do whatever we want. So follow the show right now and cast your vote. You can email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Let us know, or you can comment on whatever video you're watching. And while you're doing that, hit that subscribe button. Get those numbers up. We very much appreciate it. It'll help us out a lot with the visibility thing. Or if you prefer audio podcasts, we are on pretty much every audio podcast platform available. So follow us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, wherever you listen to podcasts. We are on there. And I think that's it. Spoiler alerts ahead. Let's get into the show proper. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1030, echoing the impermanence of all things. Long ass title for a long ass series. Okay, so last we left off with One Piece, just a lot of chaos. Sanji is dealing with a lot of changes in his body. Big Mom and Law are still battling Law and Kid are still battling it out with Big Mom. Luffy's fighting Kaido. Zoro's having some trouble with King. And now we open up on something completely different. I guess in this weird storage area, Apu is talking to X-Drake about betraying Kaido. So it's him, and it's not just him. He's also got Kaido's numbers, who are the big, giant, super strong monsters that Kaido has under his employ. And they all seem to be on Scratchman Apu's side, which is a pretty big twist, I guess. So he's pitching an alliance with Diaz Drake, despite knowing that he's a Navy spy. But right now, that doesn't matter right now, because everybody's gunning for Kaido. I guess in hindsight...
You see these big goons with me? I could care less.
Look at these big goons I've added to my crew.
Right? You see this nigga drooling in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is with this guy with the mustache. He looks way too grown. Like all the other ones look silly and immature. And this guy just looks like he's got something on his mind.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
He's got demon shit rolling through his brain. I mean, this is actually kind of cool. I mean, I'm glad that Apu's role is not just get stomped by Zoro and that's it. But that being said, he did get stomped by Zoro, so what does he think he's going to do against Kaido? It is kind of...
At least you say it after the fact.
Yeah. I do think it's cool, though. I'm glad that Apu has an enhanced role in the series. Do
you remember the deal with the with these big guys? What was their name again?
The numbers. The numbers.
Yeah. Why are they like that?
I don't know the exact deal with these guys, but they seem to be giants that work for Kaido. I don't know if they're giants exactly. Maybe they're giants who ate smile fruits as well. But I don't know. We don't.
Yeah, they're all laughing, right? Yeah, this guy.
B. Oh my God, their laughs. B. Ki Zaki Ki.
And the last one.
Gafuga. Ga.
Yeah, gotta love One Piece.
Well, One Piece laughs. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to see how that develops down the road. Meanwhile, Nami, Usopp, and a bunch of the little henchmen of Kaido are running down inside the castle on the between the first to second floor stairs, and all of a sudden they see the lower half of Kinemon just rolling around, running around. They capture him, and he can't hear them because it's just his lower half, and he can speak through farts. So that's how he's been communicating with them this entire time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Whenever Kinemon's lower half is talking, it's his farts.
That is gross.
Yeah. That was revealed a while back. That Kinemon has the uncanny ability to communicate through his farts. So basically he explains that like shit has gone real bad for them, and they need somebody to help out. So Usopp goes. I guess Usopp goes to help the samurai between the crawl space. And we cut to them, speak of the devil. Kiku is on death's door, basically. And so is Kinemon. He apparently has the ability to separate his body like he did before, when Law initially cut him in half. Because apparently Law didn't bring him, like, attach him properly, like using his powers. So that's just like a thing he can do now. Okay.
Sure.
While he's like handling that business, he hears over the phone Orochi talking to Kanjuro, who is still also on death's door, and they have this whole conversation about like, you know, performing one last act for the for the what was these guys? Kurozumi clan. This one last hateful act for them before he goes.
Yeah.
And what a fucking act. He creates he paints this weird like Miyazaki spirit type thing called the Kanzenbo, which is just this flaming ghost that like haunts the halls of damn, what's this place called now? Onigashima now. It's just like wandering around. And I guess the thud when he drops his brush finally, I think Kanjuro is finally dead here. I think.
Yeah.
So
he's the last of his strength for sure.
Yeah. So okay. Apparently, if you touch this new painting by Kanjuro, it just automatically sets you on fire, which is pretty wild, broken wise. So, you know, we then get like little shots of various scenes throughout Wano and Onigashima. We see Momonosuke outside trying to create dragon flame clouds. We see Brooke and Robin running around. The CP0 guys are walking around, probably looking for Robin. Marco and Izo are fighting random henchmen. Kawamatsu's doing a cool sword pose. Sanji's fighting Queen. Luffy's fighting Kaido. King is fighting Zoro. And we just see that Orochi intends to have the Kazenbo, like ignite the giant armory that Yamato is now after. And we cut to Yamato as he's running towards it, and all of a sudden you see Big Mom's giant Ikoku sovereignty move just burst through the fucking floor, as Kid is just being shoved out by the power itself. And this is where things get a little wild. So Eustace is falling, and we get a little flashback to a conversation he had with Law. The first thing they talk about is that, hey, Trafalgar, have your powers awakened? As in the Devil Fruit Awakening that Doflamingo used way back in the day. Apparently Law and Kid can do that shit now too. So they can do it, but to a much lesser degree. It takes a bigger hit on their stamina. So what Law can do is apparently he can make his room, like, this is a small demonstration of what I imagine his bigger awakening powers are. His room has been upgraded to a croom now. He can croom.
Okay, yeah.
Where he can shape it around his blade and I guess inject things directly into people. So he injects half of his sword into Big Mom's like throat, it looks like, and seems to be able to create shockwaves within whatever he imbues with his power. So he does that and internally like blows up Big Mom. She seems to be fine after that, but then Eustace Kid reveals his awakening ability, which is the ability to invoke his magnetism onto other people, so he can make people magnets themselves. And when he does that, like the structure around Onigashima tends to bend around Big Mom and just crush her completely. And that's where we end on the big 2-page spread, as they seem to deal a pretty big blow against Big Mom using their awakened abilities. And yeah, that's it for the recap portion, I guess.
I don't see that beating Big Mom.
No.
Not gonna lie.
No.
It doesn't look deadly. I mean, in all actuality, it definitely is. But
yeah, to probably other people, it would probably be pretty deadly, but
yeah,
not to Big Mom.
I mean, it's just rubble. Glorified rubble.
Yeah. Well, okay, so apparently there's a lot of controversy surrounding chapter 1000 of
Yeah.
of
This
One Piece.
this chapter?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear the drama. What's up?
There's a lot of people.
A lot
who
of
are upset
people-
for multiple reasons.
Yeah, people don't like that Keenan Mom can just do what he did with the lower half of his body. And a lot of people, I guess the big controversy is they're very disappointed that Kid and Law's awakening it just kind of comes out of nowhere. Like this was not a built up thing. We barely have seen Kid fight at all, much less like believe that he just has awakening already.
There are also people who are upset that Kiku and Kanjuro are still alive. Or were still alive.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this about that. I guess I'll address that one first because I feel like that's the most defensible thing I can do. Is that Oda, if you've been reading One Piece, Oda does not kill people unless you want them to, unless he like confirms absolutely they dead. You know, like people have survived crazy shit in One Piece, and the only way they stay dead is if Oda makes it an absolute point that they're dead.
Yeah, like Odin getting shot in the face.
Yeah.
Only after getting boiled alive for hours.
Yeah. So, you know, I feel like that's like par for the course One Piece wise. I'm not so mad at that. I agree on the other 2 points, whether it's with Kid and with Keenan Mon's lower half thing. It feels kind of like too convenient that Keenan Mon's just able to like detach the lower half of his body like that. I wish, or at least like that should have been built up before. Like we should have been able to see that at a different point in a less dire situation, I suppose. As well as like the Kid and Law points that, you know, like we've only ever seen one awakened devil fruit power, and it was a big fucking deal when it emerged. And then all of a sudden Kid and Law just look at each other and they're like, "Hey, do you have this really cool power up?" And they're like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Can you use your Bankai?
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden they have Bankai. So
I'm pretty sure Doflamingo wasn't the first awakening that we've experienced.
Oh, Crocodile, I guess technically.
Crocodile, there's Punk Hazard with Aokiji and Akainu.
That was awakening for them?
I would imagine they both had their awakening.
That had the way they fucked up that.
Oh, when they both fought. I guess.
Yeah, the way they fucked up Punk Hazard, it had to be Awakening stuff because like that they permanently shifted the island in two different
That's
intense
true.
climates.
That's a fair point. I'll say, yeah. I mean, the Awakening seems to be not just invoking your devil fruit on yourself, but like putting it on other people. Like, and that seems to be the commonality between the Awakening and a non-Awakening thing.
Or Kid could just be my theory is he can assign magnetism to anything, not just people. So
yeah,
like,
for sure. He can make
I don't know
anything
how
magnetic.
it would be helpful in other instances. Maybe at sea, it would probably be pretty strong. Just because you could just basically sink someone.
Yeah.
And he'll be pretty strong against the Navy because he could just assign like magnetism to one ship and then have all of the ships just fucking clash into each other.
Yeah.
I mean, if we look at Doflamingo's Awakening, all it was just a strong like a power up of what he already had with his strength.
Yeah.
And he was able to. What was his Awakening? He was able
makes
to
anything-
Birdcage was
create that
busted.
birdcage.
Birdcage
Was
Was it
really
also
busted.
the
Birdcage
healing?
wasn't his Awakening. His Awakening is like the ability to turn like the buildings of Dressrosa into string.
Okay.
Oh, I thought Birdcage
So
was
that's
his
what
awakening.
we've seen so far is like people who've had an awakening, they're able to do something outside of themselves, which is super vague. But that's that. If we're talking about there being some type of commonality, it's that. Because when
Yeah.
I think about somebody like Luffy, I don't imagine him turning people into rubber or anything like that. It might. I can't see him making anything else rubber-like, or I just feel like it's going to be something.
Is it confirmed that the gears aren't Luffy's awakening?
Nah, I don't know. I don't think so. But here's the thing:
That's just his technique.
Luffy may never get an
I
awakening,
understand.
and I'd be okay with that because the main power up for Luffy is supposed to be this like hockey training he's been doing. So if Luffy never gets an awakening,
If he is going to get an awakening, it's not happening in Wano because there's been like no focus on his awakening stuff yet.
yeah, but never say never because there's been no focus on Law's awakening, and he's been a cast member for a long time.
But Law has to like we all understand that Law has to like take a back seat in combat stuff. You know, like he literally has no choice but to be in the back seat, or else he just wins everything.
Well, here's the thing: I don't have necessarily a problem with their powers awakening. It's just one of the few times where Oda didn't execute well.
What I think he has some pressure, because Wano's been going on for a really long time. The anime's catching up pretty fast, so I feel like he's kind of rushing these build-up chapters, and he's just plopping them all as much information as possible in one chapter so he can get to the juicy parts
I feel
faster.
Yeah, that could probably be it.
I'd like to imagine that all of this is going to be fleshed out in the anime, and the anime might actually be worth watching for this war. In my opinion, I think it might be the most optimal way to watch this series or to consume this series, because they're going to need to pad a lot of stuff, and to pad all that stuff, we're going to have to fill in the gaps that Oda's kind of leaving out right now. And this is like a perfect opportunity for the anime to like flesh shit out, because they're not afraid to flesh out stuff in like an actually beneficial way.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think I guess like the best way to have done this, I wish they would just like if they would have just achieved their awakenings here through battle, I think that would be a way doper thing. You know what I mean? Like for them to discover both of their awakenings in this moment.
I think Brook had an awakening, by the way,
Oh, when?
with how he uses the soul part of his fruit.
That's
I guess that could be an awakening.
yeah.
He didn't use those words per se,
Yeah.
but
Well, apparently
he
not
did
allowed.
say he finally understood like what his fruit meant or something like that. That's what sounds like an awakening to me.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Have you guys felt like One Piece has been getting a little rushed recently? Like,
I don't know.
am
If
I the
it's
only one
been-
that's felt like that in some instances where it feels like Oda's not taking time in places he usually would?
I say, all right. If I can answer, I say yes and no. Yes, because based on my expectations, I would have imagined like we would have seen a little bit of a more drawn out fight for like the supernovas versus mom. But at the end of the day, I think we just had to treat them as if they're the crew members, the same way they'll get like a little fight and a nice little bit of development, just kind of move on, and he's gonna probably save it for what really matters, which is the king and queen fight, and Luffy's fight, his finale. So
yeah,
I think you could argue that's kind of always been a thing in the series, outside of CP9, and I keep saying CP9. Why did I say that? And Slappy.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's being rushed so much as like Oda might be too deep as far as like this organized chaos that he's usually so good at. He just got like a ton of moving pieces going around at the same time. Probably even more so than like the Paramount War, because these are not just like Whitebeard's offshoots. These are like main characters that all have to reach some certain stage of development throughout this battle. It's a lot to handle, and it's a big scale. I don't know if he's getting like rushed, because I don't think anybody would rush Oda. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I don't think
think
anybody's rushing him. I think he's rushing himself a little bit in
Maybe.
certain parts of Wano.
Maybe. I just think that he may be just like overwhelming himself a little bit with the amount of things
think
that are
of
happening.
Wano is most definitely his longest arc of all time, right?
Yes, it is.
So like, I feel like at some point he's like, "Oh shit, this is going on pretty long." Like, the anime is really like right on my heels right now. This is actually starting to get a little worrying.
Yeah, I don't think
I might not be able to take as much time as I usually would.
I don't think a lot of manga
That's what I feel
artists
like.
worry about the anime. Like they're on their own thing.
But the anime is
they'll take
also
a
a
break
big
if
part
they
of
need to, man.
sales for One Piece.
I'm sure, but he's at a point where like I can't imagine that he's like stressed about the anime, because like no matter what, he beat like Batman in the highest selling like comic books in the world, like all time. I don't think he's like worried about sales. I think he's just like just a little out of his depth a little bit here. And the guy's human. It doesn't have to be like this big complicated reason as to why certain things feel like drawn out or rushed or whatever. Sometimes like writers write themselves into corners that they have to get out of, or take missteps with things. And that's why I'm not too stressed about it. A lot of people are very angry about this chapter, but it's like, come on, man. This is like when you're like the greatest of all time, it's like, how many bad chapters of One Piece are there? And if this is the worst it gets, I mean, I don't even know. I think we're spoiled at that point.
Oda gets the benefit of the doubt for me, like I said.
Yeah.
I would just imagine that whatever's being sacrificed, as far as like not much depth being put into law and kids fight, I think it's going to just pay off in other areas.
Yeah.
That's how I feel until it's, we'll see what happens when this arc wraps up.
Yeah. I mean, it's not over, right? So
Not even close to over, I think.
Yeah. So we could very well just get a quick flashback explanation as to when they awaken their powers. I could see that. All that shit. Just be patient. I think we're very spoiled when it comes to One Piece. So if anything goes like slightly weird or wrong, we're like, well, he's not the same. Like people are just waiting for that moment because we've been scarred by so many other series, I guess. So many other series going down the tubes. But yeah, I mean, this is a strange chapter for sure. And I'm not saying that like I loved it, but there are worse things that could have happened with One Piece. I'm actually kind of excited for the prospect of this. And I know that this isn't the end for Big Mom. Like, she's not getting beat by a bunch of buildings falling on her. She's a fucking emperor. You got a lot more to take them out.
But she should be trapped in there for a little while.
Yeah.
She might end up turning all of that shit into people.
Imagine.
The living things, every object. And
That'd be fire.
then she's gonna command them to get off of her.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have for One Piece. Solid-ish chapter, not the best, but whatever. Can't win them all, you know. You guys have anything else before we move on?
No, sir.
Nope, I'm ready to move on.
Then let's go. My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia, chapter 331, United States of America. Fuck yeah! Okay, last we left off, we thought for sure Star and Stripe was dead, but she survived. We open up with just a panel of her just taking the attack and being flung backwards. Shigaraki, or All for One, I guess, seems to have completely has been analyzing the new order power as the battle has gone along. And man, a lot of this is text. A lot of this is just like All for One breaking down her power to such a fucking degree where it's like, oh my god, Thirst Bucket. You really want this power.
I don't think that's him talking about it. I think that's just the narration.
You sure?
Describing. Yeah, I think because usually that square text box is just meant for the narrator, not for characters, from what I gather.
That's true.
No, because after all of these text boxes, you have Shigaraki on page, or All for One, whoever the fuck.
We're probably just going to call him Shigaraki for now, because...
Yeah, I'm going to say Shigaraki. He says...
It is. He says even my understanding, am I Shigaraki or All for One? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, after all of this information that's given and these thoughts, Shigaraki says that what's gotten into me all of a sudden. The irresistible urge to test out her rules. I've never been so on edge. Oh, you know when I first read that, I thought he said I've never been so edge. I wanted it to be that so bad. I wanted it so bad, guys. You have no idea. I was so disappointed.
The word "on" really ruined the day for you, huh?
It sure did.
I've never been so edge.
I've never been so edge. Nah, but that's him. That's him literally thinking all of this out. He even says, but even my understanding of myself is hate. Oh, I think you brought that up, right, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Well,
yeah, I mean...
But yeah, sometimes it is the narration. At least here it was clear.
Yeah. My Hero Academia turns into a novel for 3 pages. And then...
I love Star and Stripe's face in this picture.
Yeah.
She's like, damn. This guy's tough.
How the fuck he did that?
This ain't easy.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna just mop him up real quick. I'm gonna have to really try.
Yeah, she really talks to her boys and all right, dogs. This punk's graduated from being Japan's local menace to a world threat. So we gotta.
She graduated him on the spot.
Yeah, she's like, we gotta use tactic that Japan lacks to make him dead now.
He doesn't even know who he is.
Yeah,
it is a problem.
Yeah. So, she says, just try to give me a place to plant my feet until my arrival. Okay, bros? And at this point, this pilot, again, just thinks back to the point where Star and Stripe fully expects them to just die.
When we die?
Yeah, but if they die, she's also dead. His face
on the side, he's like, yeah, she did say that.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. At least she's not die for me. She's like, we're going to die together. But he's like, I don't want to die at all.
Damn.
Why I got to die, period. It really is funny. Okay, so this is pretty wild. So she basically turns the air, she makes the air a new rule. The air forms to my shape, but 1,000 times bigger. And you see this visage of her made out of the air. Giant crazily well drawn. Oh, it's so good. The art is so fucking amazing from here. As her giant air avatar smacks the shit out of Shigaraki.
No,
Oh yeah, Shigaraki can't see it.
A mean left hook.
Shigaraki can't even see this thing. That's a kind of nuts.
Yeah. You're right, Brian. He can't see this shit. He can't see this giant, strong woman just beating the brakes out of him with an air fist. The Nomu is dead. I'm convinced. The Nomu that she just punched did not survive like Shigaraki
You can
did.
see it on the next page, which is an awesome 2-page.
Oh yeah, he's flying.
You can see that it's like ragged now. It's not even. It's limp. Whatever bones it had, they're all broke. And same with Shigaraki, but you know who's that.
This Nomu's like, what just happened?
It's dead. It doesn't know what happened. It looks like. I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, it's not good.
Ragged animal.
Yeah, it's not great. Okay, and then she just claps him. She's literally like.
He just had to get done the claps and use the Hulk's move.
Yeah, using the air itself. He looks like a car. He looks like a Looney Tune, just splayed out in the middle of the air. And then the fucking lasers come, and she puts a new rule on the lasers. The lasers combine into one, and then the air visage of her grabs the laser and just stabs him downward. Wow. What a fucking ability.
Yeah, United Hypermax output laser. Oh my god. Right to your chest, boy.
Yeah.
Look at that. They're getting disintegrated and it's splitting the sea. This is fucking insane. I had no idea what I was getting myself into with this.
Oh my god, dude. It is crazy.
He's overpowered.
Yeah. Shigaraki's like,
What was Endeavor doing against her?
Yeah.
Or Hawks?
Yeah, no one.
She don't even have jeans on, man, nigga. He can't do nothing to her.
Yeah.
And she has swag. And a bunch of niggas that would die for her. Come on, yo.
Unstoppable.
They can't kill her off. They can't let her lose her quirk. They gotta
keep her around. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess like the Nick Fury of this universe is talking to Star and Stripe and is like, man, you done fucked up now. I'm going to have to, this stunt will lose you more than your license. And Star and Stripe is like, fine by me. Are things ready to go on your end?
Sure.
And he's like, sure. A special favor, just this once. And Japan's been informed that the strike is imminent. So apparently, well, this guy gives a final, like, I guess goodbye. He's like, the fact that you're flagrant defiant from the rules has made our nation shine all the brighter.
Yo, fuck you, Horikoshi. How about that?
Most American shit.
I don't like that, alright?
Yo, he is dead ass.
It's true. That is what America is about. No, for real. Because what I like, alright, not to get all preachy and shit, right? Can keep it short and sweet. But what I think America is about is people standing up to what they believe in. And that means breaking whatever so-called rigid, stale, unfair fucking rules that are keeping things on gridlock. You know what I'm saying? Then so be it. And that's what being American is about. That's what that star is all about.
America's team is about.
Yeah, and all of us too. We're a diverse group of people, and that makes us stronger and more brilliant.
Hell yeah.
More empathetic.
America.
Funky, yeah. Let's go, Cowboys. 6-1.
America. Fuck. Okay, there's this like really funny moment where Nick Fury of the My Hero Academia universe is like, All Might himself couldn't put a proper end to this villain. Prepare to surpass him, Cassie. Their name is Tiamat. Make sure every last one hits their mark.
Yo.
And there is a fucking barrage of state-of-the-art hypersonic intercontinental cruise missiles.
Taxpayer funded
We paid for this. We paid for these missiles. This is our defense budget in the My Hero Academia world. This is where it goes to.
Over $2 billion.
Yeah, for one hero to be able to control all of these fucking missiles.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah, she is about to be like, the rockets will now be under my control or some shit.
Every rocket will hit Shigaraki Tomura directly in the nose.
Yes!
No, she can't say Shigaraki, remember?
Every rocket that enters this airspace will strike.
This guy right here.
Shigaraki, that guy.
Whoever this guy right here is.
That person.
It's gonna fucking hit him right in the gut. All of them at the same time.
Boom, boom.
They will all kill him. He will die.
Yo, I don't know if y'all remember, but in Marvel vs. Capcom, if you use War Machine instead of Iron Man, he had a special with the backpack that shoots all the missiles up and then they come down.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
That shit like,
He's like, ah!
Raining. Yo, wait. She said, oh, RGC, by the way.
Oh,
yo,
yeah.
She said, the only way to get rid of this guy is busting him down to atoms.
Yeah.
Like, come on, son. She's not playing.
You gotta respect Star and Stripes gangster, dude. She's out here.
She named the move. She named pinning this nigga to the ground with laser shot from fucking aircraft. Coronas?
Yeah, Coronas. I don't know what that even means.
Coronas?
Dude.
Brian, can you look that up?
That
has to mean something.
Okay, so yeah, you gotta love Star and Stripes. She's not fucking around. She has made several kill shots on
She's
Shigaraki.
beyond not fucking around. She should win.
She has
the only
several
reason
kill
she's
shots.
not gonna win is because Horikoshi is like, damn, I did a little too much, but oh well.
It's Greek for thunderbolt or lightning bolt.
Damn.
Ooh, it's Korean, you said?
No, Greek.
And she's appropriate in another culture. In this
Well, how do you know she's not Greek? For the audio listeners, Joshua took off his hat in salute.
Yeah, this is my RGC as well.
Oh, it might happen. It also happens to be my RGC.
Certified RGC certified.
Damn it, I knew I should have fucking made it.
You see, I made a bet for my credibility, for his credibility, Horikoshi. I made a bet that he would pull through, and he did.
Listen.
The bet paid off.
Listen.
I am now doubled in Horikoshi bucks.
To
you
the moon.
always were. Stop it.
Yeah, why are you acting like...
Yeah, one bump along the road. Relax.
Brian, you've said this exact...
no doubt in your mind.
I'm swimming in Horikoshi bucks right now.
You've said this before. You've said that you've gone all in, diamond hands on Horikoshi as well. We've made this. We've gone down this road.
Or are you acting like you just bought the dip or something? You already invested.
You really acted like you held
diamond
retarded.
hands. Horikoshi bucks, dude.
You wasn't selling no stock last week.
No.
Yes, I was. Remember, I didn't give it RGC.
Brian, you've been on the moon for My Hero Academia. You've been there.
I called last chapter disappointing.
Your hands been diamond, bro.
I dropped the stock.
You got platinum hands, dude. Yeah, no.
I dropped the stock. I bought the dip, and now I'm swimming in Horikoshi.
All right,
bucks.
look. Listen, Brian. We judge these chapters on a week-to-week basis. Next week, it might be right back where we started. But man, Star and Stripe is something else, man.
Yeah, he saved her.
She's just
her first two introduction chapters were fucking lame, and now she's finally.
And look, man, sometimes you got to buy the dip, just like you did, Brian. But look, I really like this chapter. It's just so fun. And when Star and Stripe inevitably dies at the hands of Shigaraki, all for one, it's gonna be sad because that's what they're building. The pilots have no illusions of getting out of here alive. This guy's eyes from the very beginning.
They made that call to their families already.
If you've seen this dude's eyes, they have not moved above this level for like they're not excited. This guy knows what time it is. So, I think that we're not going to get out of here alive with this one.
But how do you kill Shigaraki with this quirk?
Yeah.
How?
I mean,
it's literally Deku can't 1v1 this man if he gets Stars and Stripes quirk. If he gets New Order,
you can't forget about friendship, my nigga.
That's true.
No, he's legit gonna have to have backup for that fight. He's not getting a 1v1 with Shigaraki.
The power of friendship.
That's true,
always
Brian.
prevails.
Hey,
That's
and you never know.
The backup card.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind Deku having like Bakugo and Todoroki with him as he fights.
I mean, he's gonna have to.
And they believe in him.
He's not beating this guy by himself. Unless number 2 has a fucking crazy powerful quirk.
That's what I was saying. You never know. Bakugo's grandfather might have the most broken quirk of all time, and we may not know it. Who knows? But this was a fun ass chapter to read, and Horikoshi really outdid himself with the art here. Ever since Star and Stripe came in, it's almost like he's challenging himself to like.
This is yet another moment where the manga is better than the anime. Like every time these like awesome fucking crazy ass moments happens in the anime compared to the manga, it just doesn't have the same impact. I don't know why. I feel like there's certain things that Horikoshi just does better on paper compared to animation. I don't know how he does it.
I think it's there's a lot more factors that go into anime than there is to manga. And it is his original vision and his original art. So you can't really put a price on that. I personally always love just the original. That's why I read manga more than I watch anime. There's like nothing can beat what the original artist had in mind for his own series. And there's so many factors that go into making an anime, like budget and the amount of animators that are available to do the thing, who's animating a particular scene. It's so much so that the anime industry is actually kind of like in a weird place right now in terms of labor. Okay. Because manga is getting more ambitious with its art, so it demands so much more animation, like more, I guess, devotion to staying there working super long hours. So there's a lot of factors that go into that. But, I mean, it's all about creativity here, and this is just what fucking Horikoshi does at his best. Like, he just makes creative-ass powers and then just really draws them well. It's one of the things that draws you to My Hero Academia in the first place. But fantastic chapter. I loved it. We had a lot of fun talking about it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hopefully we keep the momentum going. I hope this fight lasts at least one more chapter. I mean, come on.
This was like I was reading like an event.
Yeah.
Comic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this was remember during the Empire event for Marvel, when it had the X-Men crossover with Magneto, and he was fighting all of them in the sky and shit, and he was like sending all the steel, he fought all Invasion off by himself. This is kind of what that's like.
Yeah, I agree.
Shigaraki is kind of a problem. Yo, I wonder how Shigaraki would do against Krakoa.
Oh
He didn't get fucking slaughtered. He's not ready for that.
Probably. Maybe.
If it wasn't for the telepath, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, but there's so many people. I'm not going to go down.
Yeah. Well,
I love this comic. I love this chapter.
Me too. I suppose we should move on then. Let's go. Black Clover. This is Black Clover, chapter 311, Make It Home Alive. Last we left off, Jordan awakened. He did not like to lose, so he sliced this dude's fucking heart in half with his cool
Hit him
sword.
with a no actually.
Yeah, hit him hard. He said, Zeno in his final moments is like, what made us different? And Yuno's like, don't ask me. I'm not a little bitch who backed out from his friend, maybe. That's what I didn't do.
He never do that. Tell you that.
I didn't pussy out and kill my best friend. That's what I did.
Just because it was a big scary devil killing
Just
everybody.
the easy way out. I didn't take the easy way out, I'll tell you what.
That's for sure.
I went back on the court. I practiced. I practiced when the gym was closed. I made everybody practice. Scotty never left my fucking gym. I swear to God.
He gave me every rebound.
Yeah.
He was there for every shot. Passed me the ball right back.
For real. Zeno thinks back to the clone of Asta that he let down and murdered as he falls to his death, I guess. And Asta notices that the cave, the castle around them is disintegrating, and Noct uses his super cool devil powers to look indoors and announces that has defeated Zenon, which means that the entirety of the Dark Triad has been defeated.
So Dante is down.
Yes, Dante is
Magna
down.
got that.
Dante got boxed out by Magna. And
Praying Mantis just finished up the light one.
yeah, I'll take that. I'll take it.
He cleaned his corpse up.
Right. Noctis, even though like the Dark Triad is destroyed, Noctis like, why is the advent of Klepoth still advancing? And it turns out the reason being is that Morris has now been possessed by the ultimate devil Lucifero that used to possess Dante. So yeah, it's not looking good. He's got this random Diamond Kingdom guy who uses ash magic, I think his thing is, or smoke magic, something like that. I remember him vaguely. And he's got his arm ripped off because he's fighting the ultimate devil. And Morris is like, if you retract you don't interest me, Lotus, so if you retract your betrayal, I'll spare you. And Lotus, usually the coward, is like, I can't do it because, my family won't be able to live in the world that you're trying to make. So he starts to activate his magic as Morris uses his modification magic to string together a couple of demons to attack him. And it's at that moment there's a noise being rumbled. Oh, also, I guess like he talks about how he doesn't really need the Dark Triad anymore because as long as he has Yami and William, the gate of the underworld will open. And then he hears a rumbling, and who bursts through the doors but the rest of the fucking Black Bulls? So that's Gray, the Witch Lady, the Goth Kid, the Mirror Guy, whose name I'm forgetting, and Henry, who was the newest one that comes to mind. Yeah.
Like, hey.
Yeah, hey, we are the supporting cast, and we're here to do cool things now. Very cool.
Pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
The scientist guys got Operation Magic.
I'll tell you what.
Right.
Morris's design is pretty fucking badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's quite edge, might I say. He's got a devil mouth on his forehead.
He's talking shit.
Yeah, and he's talking mad shit. I respect it. I really like this chapter for what it was, whether it was like the art and the design for Morris as Lucifero's new host. Finally defeating Zeno. That was cool. And the rest of the Black Bulls will be cool to see fight. It's been a while since... I don't think we've ever seen Gray fight, ever. So that'll be interesting, at least. I hope there's like little individual battles with demons with them, and one of them takes on Morris until like Asta or Yuno show up to inevitably fight Morris, or maybe both of them at the same time. I could see Morris, Yuno, and Asta teaming up against him. But
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, not a whole ton. It felt like a really short chapter. I think this is 16 pages in all, so I guess it
15.
was. Yeah. So I guess it was a short chapter than usual.
Transition, as we say.
Yeah. Epilogue to the battle with Yuno and Zenon, and moving on to bigger and better things, I guess.
I'm looking forward to seeing these side characters get it in. They're entertaining.
Yeah, I will always say that Tabata has very interesting. Like the Black Bulls themselves are all very interesting in their own right, and they all have.
They're just a bunch of goons, you know.
Yeah, they have cool powers. You know, I like them. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I like the side characters of Black Clover. But yeah, I think that's it for me. Are you all set to move onward?
Yep.
Then let's go. Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck, chapter 85, round 1. Last we left off in Undead Unluck, Fuko has chosen an object to play a game with Spring, betting the lives of all of the Union members in this battle to get to love Spring and be able to use their Unluck against him. So she picks out this top. And basically, round 1, the first of 3 games that they're going to play is negate tops. The rules are simple. They're going to let it rip. Beyblade let it rip.
Oh, yeah. The puns are coming, guys.
They're going to Beyblade let it rip here. But the big caveat is that they'll be summoning vessels to turn into tops and clash until one of these people dies. So, yeah. He basically...
Pretty fucking intense.
Yeah. So, you know, the person's life shall also shatter, killing them if their top loses. And he goes, first or second choice, you may decide the order in which we shall choose. And Fuko says second. And he's like, ha ha, very poor choice.
Very poor choice. See, someone makes a point where they say, like, oh, like, that's smart to pick second so you can see who you're matching up against. But then the nigga violates is like, I'm going to choose your man. How about that?
You like that? I choose Undead, so this prevents you from ever touching Undead to unload him with Unluck. Good shit. Good shit. And Fuko's like, I say thanks for picking Andy, that is. He's like, huh, a firm bluff. I love Spring.
I think it's legit because if he does get killed, then it's okay because he won't get killed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess. Fuko chooses for her side, of course, Unbreakable. The reasons being is that Unbreakable and versus Undead, neither of them will really die in this because one can't and one is just very strong and durable, I suppose. On top of that, Ishin, the Unbreakable negator, it was in the memories of the top. So, you know, Fuko's like, maybe you could help. What do you know about Spring? And Ishin reveals that not only does he not know him, his face is terror embodied. And I'm like, sheesh. We get a little bit of context from Billy as to the reason why Unbreakable hasn't even really been a factor in the story overall. Apparently, Ishin is known as the biggest coward in Union. One that uses the excuse that their ability is too valuable to endanger to rarely take part in quests and remain a shut-in. Unbreakable can only make things like weapons and simple cages, but never armor. But they can only make their own armor. So as Billy is like, pick someone else, they're simply... And Fuko interrupts him and says, please, Mr. Ishin, lend me your help. And she basically gets down on her knees and begs Ishin to help out. Ishin lowers their mask, and it turns out Ishin's a woman. Wow.
It looked like the author for a second.
Yeah, it looked like a no. Like, from what we can see.
I know one. That was a good one.
Yeah. So Ishin basically explains that up till now, she thought that Chikara and Fuko were like her, but they've proved her wrong by getting stronger and showing how useful they can be. But, she's been just so afraid of not being able to make things right that she still hasn't been able to make armor for everyone. And I forgot this moment, but apparently Unbreakable has saved them so many times in the past. And Ishin's like, that alone isn't good enough. The first Ishin in the Edo period made armor for everyone. And apparently that was the reason that this big battle in 1868 went really well, is because the Unbreakable Negator created unbreakable armor for pretty much anybody, everybody in his army. The truth was altered by the organization, but the Tanka poem scribed at the time has been passed down for generations. She's like, Tanka? And we get this poem, my unbreakable shall prove through the course of this battle that I wage the blossoms, omens of good, the warmth that spring holds within. So,
yeah. Seems like a job for Unbreakable.
Yeah, and it turns out the Ishin that was in the memories of the top was this first Ishin, who seemed to know spring, seeing as how he made a whole poem about spring, essentially. So, they make each other into spring is like unluck and unbreakable, 'tis now or never. And Fuko basically is like, Mr. Shin, the reason I'm able to fight is because I have to protect. I want to protect everyone I hold dear. Friendship. And she's like, you could be just like the first after working so hard. After all, you've been working so hard in this organization to this very day. And Ishin gets inspired, and she's like, I want to be like that. Not just someone who can make weapons, but people who can protect others. And she turns into a top, and Fuko and oh my god, it even goes Beyblade style with the shoo.
I mean, it even makes a little the arena inside, like the stadium. This shit is lit.
Yeah, and the undead and let it rip. I wish I had the foresight to get the fucking sound drop for it. And they let it rip. Ishin's little top has a little sign that says, on second thought, I cannot do this, as she clashes with Andy. And that's where the chapter ends, a big old 2-page spread of the weird Beyblade battle that this just turned into. This was a really cool chapter to get like a little backstory into Unbreakable. I think one of the few...
Yeah, it was cool. It was a clean chapter.
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
No, yeah. As far as like, I think there's only one negator that we don't really even know about, and it's the other guy, the bald dude who has the spheres that he rides and stuff.
Right. And I think Billy's wasn't confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. But
we basically know everything but its name.
Basically. But yeah, this is very cool. I never expected this to be literally like just a top battle, but I'm here for it. And this is only the first of a few games. So Fuko.
Yeah, it's very uncanny.
Yeah.
Ooh, you used that right? You used it earlier. That was smooth. I wanted to use it. Yeah, and that's why I enjoy covering the series in the first place. It's never really mundane.
Yeah, it's always a fun read.
It has its tropes still, but it's fun. It's a fun read.
Yeah.
I don't have much more, really, I guess, like analytical thoughts to it. I'm ready to see what happens next, though.
Yeah, me too. It was just like, I feel just a starter to the
YouTube commenter called it, yo.
Yeah.
That was probably a negator from before. Again, I don't have the name on deck. I don't know if anybody would could go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Check, but
I actually can. I have it on my phone. Real
yeah,
fast.
we will shout you out real quick, buddy.
Ooh, you deserve a shout out. One of our
yeah.
best listeners.
Bro, this dude just really reminds me of Hariyama, like the Pokemon. I know I said that before, but like the way he's dancing around and like with his arms. I'm digging it, man. Spring is dope.
Yeah.
He's real aggressive now and upset, but
yeah. Shouts out to Ginga. That's the name of the commenter that called it. So good for you, bud. You get one of these. But yeah, I mean, this was a great chapter. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it. Undead Unluck has not been any type of underwhelming, and it's really only gotten better as time went on. So I'm excited to see what comes next for it. You guys ready to close this out?
Yes, sir.
Then let's go! Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this little modest manga showed. The manga is not necessarily done yet. We have one more that just hasn't come out yet. On Thursday or Wednesday, whenever we do the American comics, we're also beginning to be throwing in World Trigger that comes out this month. Sup to Appa. I see you cradling our boy there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. In the meantime, you can follow us at the Chris Espinal, Josh at JDCole_37 on Instagram, and at NYChillin on Twitter, Brian at B.ESP on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Brian's Twitch stream at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Follow Show Stuff at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. I'll put up a poll for the really good chapter of the week tonight, and we'll announce it on our next episode coming later this week. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com for any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, or comment on whatever video you're watching. And while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a like, comment, all the things, share with your friends, or listen to our audio podcast. Do all that stuff with our audio podcast, where you can find it on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you listen to audio podcasts. The audio version usually comes out before the video version, so check us out on that. And I believe that's it for us today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for listening, and see you next time. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for listening.
Later.